Oh hey guys, let's learn how to animate a hit effect. So in the previous tutorial I drew this guy and we learned a lot about shape, how to make interesting shapes, etc. I had previously drawn this guy, which is actually the one that I'm going to use in the tutorial today. It was a really hard choice for me, but the basic reason is this one I think is going to look better when it's small. So a lot of times in a video game a hit effect is really small and doesn't need a lot of detail, whereas this guy is like got tons of detail and might work really good for like a big hit effect, like if it took up a big portion of the screen. But because of all this detail it might take a little longer to animate as well, so I'm sticking with this guy. So what I've done is I've trimmed off my guide layer. I'll show it so you can see it. So I've trimmed it off so it's exactly 512 by 512 and has this border around it. And then I've copied the guide layer and this layer into a sprite sheet, like so. So if you're not sure how to build a sprite sheet, I have a tutorial on how to build a sprite sheet, which you can refer to. In that one I did a 3x3, but here I've got a 4x4. So you can see if I double click inside of one instance of it, I've got my effect and the guide layer holding for 16 frames, which is how many frames we have on the sprite sheet. So if I click back out onto scene 1, I can hide that layer and show this layer where I actually want to do my animating. This layer is guided out, so if I hit Control Enter, it just exports my animation, which holds for 16 frames, and then I hit F7 so it disappears until frame 32, and then it loops back around. So I've got 16 frames on, 16 frames off, and that's what we're seeing right here. Once I start animating inside of the symbol, we'll start seeing some motion there. Alright, so let's get cracking. So on this hit effect, I've been thinking a bit about how it's going to move. Let me double click and go inside of it. So let's see, I'll get up on this layer and I need to start moving some frames around first. So I want this to be on frame 3, so I'm going to click on it once and then click and drag it, put it on frame 3, hit F7 over here, and then I don't know, hit F7 there. Probably around this time it's going to kind of start dissipating. And from there, I probably only need, a keyframe every 4 frames. Like so. Yeah, something like that. Now these zaps, these more radial ones that I've got right here, I'll hold shift and then with the selection tool, select all 3. So these guys here, I want them to hit their apex well after this hits its apex. So I'll cut those, Control X. And then I'll do Control Shift V. Maybe I'll move them over here. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just shooting in the dark here. So yeah, that feels about right. So we got bam, zippy zap, bam zap. Okay. You know what? I'm going to create a new layer. And I'm going to click and drag. Remember, if you already have it clicked and then you click and drag, you'll move it. But if I select it on something else and then I click, and then I click and drag it, then I can click and drag again to move that selection. Oops, that didn't work. Oh well. Hit F7 again, you're good to go. Got it. Perfecto. I might do a little bit up there. And then I can stick with my timing here. I'm just moving stuff around. Just cuz. Alright, let's get started. Enough monkey business. I'm going to hide that layer because I'll worry about the zippy zaps later. So, we got this guy. I'll turn on onion skinning down here. And we got this guy, and I want it to initially flash. And so the key is come in with a bang. Don't do any of this. I see newbie artists are always starting out. Sometimes I do this. I shouldn't say newbies. Sometimes I do this. Like, that's frame 1. I mean, that's just lame. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. If you starting this way, like with some kind of like smaller version of that's like kind of dinky, that's no good, man. You gotta cut it out. Start big. In fact, I'm gonna basically start at the same size as this ring here, and I'm gonna start with these rings coming out with maybe just a little bit of some gaps in there to indicate where those are going to come. I mean, you're coming in with like, you know, all the flashiness that you can possibly muster. That's the goal on frame one. Frame one is just like, bam, here I am. Especially on like a hit effect. I mean, you think about frame rate, right? And we animate at what, 30 frames per second? So in a video with an explosion, if they slow that down, it's at, I don't know, 60 frames per second if it's high def. How many frames does it take for the explosion to reach its apex, its full size? I mean, it's like instantaneous, right? Like even at slow motion, it's like boom, and it's already there. So make that thing big to begin with. Okay. So this is where I'm gonna do this trick of switching the positive and negative spaces. So I've got this shape here, right? And I'm gonna do an opposite day version of it, where this comes in. And what this is going to do is it's going to create your eyes. Have you ever like stared at the sun or another bright light, and then you close your eyes, but you still see the sun? But you don't necessarily see the sun when you close your eyes. What you see is a dark spot where the sun was, right? And then the rest around it is lighter. So this after image idea is what we're going for, that we're creating inverted shapes. You feel me? Yeah, so like what is bright here becomes dark there, right? So it's like, cha! That's the thing. Again, we have Alex Redfish to thank. I'm just gonna say Alex Redfish every tutorial because I mean the guy's amazing. He's really good at what he does. So Alex Redfish. There we go. I remember when I first saw his stuff, I was like in my late 20s and he was in his early 20s, and I was like, man, these young kids coming up, showing us old farts how it's done. They're so good. Alright. I've never actually met Alex, and he has not offered any incentive to praise his work in my videos. But if you are Alex and you're watching this video, leave a comment. I'd be interested to read that comment, hear what you have to say for yourself and your awesome skills. Alright, so I'm basically just drawing stuff. I mean, there's just no way around it. That's all that's happening here. Stuff being drawn. You'll see that I'm more or less drawing on top of the other one. And you know what? I'm not going to get into like cleaning this up right now. I'm going to leave it a little messy. Because we gotta move. Like, we can't be dragging our feet in these tutorials. You guys have other cat videos to watch, so I gotta stick to it. Alright. Let's just do one in between. Between the initial flash and then the disperse, where, you know what, let's not, because sometimes just holding that flash and giving your eye a bit of time to register that something is happening is actually a really good thing. Like, embrace the hold, you know what I'm saying? Like, spend some time on that drawing, let it hold there for a while, let it sing. Alright, so it gets big, and we want it to just more or less subtly move. But what we want to be careful about is that this tip up here, see the previous frame? Goes right there. That is a point that we only want to go a little far beyond. The goal is not to slide this thing out. I mean, the poor thing has traveled so far already, you don't want to exhaust it by making it go too far. You know what I'm saying? I mean, be a good boyfriend and don't push her further than she's comfortable going. Right? I mean, come on, guys. Like, where are the gentlemen these days? You feel me? Alright. Alright, I don't know, maybe that breaks apart, because it's kind of dainty. Break it up. First we're talking about boyfriends, then we're talking about breaking up, because she didn't go far enough. Yeah, if that ever happens, you're a jerk. Let's see. Don't be a jerk. Don't break it up. Stay committed. Unless it's frame 5, then it's time to break up. Get that out of there. Alright, so I don't know. I don't like that moving. I mean, do you like that moving? I mean, it feels wrong. So let's just not let it move. Feels like I want it to just like have some stickiness to that surface of that sphere. You see how that's like sticking to the surface there? Feels really good, right? It's like it ain't going anywhere. It's just staying, man. Staying around. Yeah. Feels good. Alright. It's just growing outward. That's the cool thing about some of these effects is you can move things in different directions, unexpected directions, right? Like this guy's growing outward, side to side, rather than just like sliding out. If everything just slides out from the center, it's so boring. Don't be boring. More good relationship advice. Okay, here we go. I get so tied up in these little things that it's no good. It's no good. So this guy, I'm gonna have fun with this guy. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna wiggle. He's gonna go from this to this. Right? Maybe not that extreme. Just enough. And then it's going to turn back. So this is important. It really is. You want to make sure that out here at the tips, you're not doing a bunch of like wiggling back and forth, because it looks awful. It's just bad, bad, bad. All you want is just very, very slight motion outwards. All right, coming on up. And then I can't just have the whole line shift that way. I need some anchorage to it. So I'm going to anchor it here. It's also anchored here. It's just this part is just opening up. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I'll move that out because that feels nice. This little edge here. All right, but it'll slide out along this, and this will come from there. All right, so what do I want to do with my middle shape? I'm gonna have it rotate because rotation is awesome. Add a little bit of rotate, a little bit of scale, a little bit of ambulance in the background. Perfect. All right. Go. I'm going to leave my points here, but I'm going to shift this over. And then I'm going to slide this out. So it's going to stay pivoted here It's going to swing like a so. Like a so. Alright. There we go. So we got the swishy swish going on in the middle. We got the zippy zap going on out there. It's kind of like, feels like it's moving back this way. I don't know, I'll keep an eye on that. Might not be a bad thing. It might be awful, but who knows. Alright, so, you know what's funny? I warned you about the long video in the other one, and it was only like, what, 20-something minutes? I'm going to warn you again, this may be somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 minutes. I don't know why I'm warning you guys about this stuff. I mean, honestly, it's time consuming, especially when you're learning. Like, man, this stuff just takes forever. I mean, there's no way around it. So, it really should be okay with you. And if I'm not entertaining enough, leave a comment, and I apologize. I'll try to be more entertaining, less offensive if I'm offensive to those of you pressure-heavy boyfriends out there. So I apologize for that too. Yeah. I'm just flipping back and forth with my keyframe jumper. I'm trying to see if I like the direction that this is going. Yeah, I do. But you know what? It needs to go further. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Alright. So it's getting thicker, it feels nice and varied. All the good things, good words, things. Make this come out a little bit more and down. Maybe this one will get thinner, because everyone else is kind of like bulking up these days. This guy's like, no man, lean and mean. It's the way to go. Alright. And what the hey, I'll just break this apart right now. Break it up. And then I'll bring this in. So I'm consciously moving this guy out, and then I'm going to keep this section aligned, like so. And we'll just see how it looks. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Alright, so as far as this guy is concerned, I don't know, maybe give him more of a ridge out? I really have no idea. Maybe suck it in there. You'll notice that like these are all moving in different directions. It's partly because I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm just trying stuff out, but it's also because I want to see if it's going to work to create all this crazy contrast. Like, I don't want everything moving the same way. I want everything feeling really diverse. Okay, so that was kind of our hold frame. Now we're going to start transitioning into the death. I want everything to die except for this middle shimmer shine. That is a technical term, I'll have you know. I want this thing to kind of hold a little bit in the mid. And then I'll let it leave a little bit of a trail behind that just kind of broke off there. Yeah. Let it really trail. So it really is staying still. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have these little blips and flips, you know, little, like this little dip right here. Like, use that stuff, you know? I mean, it's there, it may as well do something. It's like your mom talking to you when you're sitting on the couch. You're there, you may as well do something. Right? Alright. And this guy comes full circle. He's leaving behind a legacy of something. I don't know. This line right there is all he's leaving behind. Kind of give it some curve. I mean, it's got to feel like it's part of that circle of life. Let this guy remain like so. You know, the whole point of a hit effect, by the way, is to do stuff that you cannot do with randomly generated particles in a game engine, right? Because, like, you can do, like, crystals flying out with, like, random widths and random speed and random size and stuff, right? Even random color. Like, you can do that with a particle emitter group. What you can't do is, like, this shaping that is like so unique and specific to 2dFX. So that's really the whole point. If you're going to do a flipbook, you may as well make it really interesting, right? I mean, why else would you use a flipbook for a hit effect other than to pull off stuff that you couldn't do otherwise? So I try to always keep that in mind when I'm flipbooking. I'm just like, you know what? Could I do this with a particle engine? Because if I could, then why am I spending all this time shaving off lines and tweaking my animation and checking my frames? Okay, so now that I've got, so it's just something to remember. But anyway, now that I've got this, these two frames going, I've got this one and this one. This third one, like I was saying, it needs to be starting to break apart, by the way, which I didn't actually do. So yeah, that should break. It's time to break it up. So it's important to look at the direction it was moving before. So my first frame was here, right? My second one was here. My third one, let me show both of those. My third one should not be here. And I know that sounds silly, but you gotta watch for this stuff, guys. Like, when you're animating, keep track of where you were. Just take that extra couple of seconds to check it. It was here, it was here. Next one needs to be somewhere over here. Somewhere at least like here, right? Like just to the side of that other one. That's okay too. But for heaven's sakes, don't move it over and then right back within that short of frame space. It's just not going to look good. If you're doing it on purpose, man, I don't even know what to tell you. Go be a UPS man or something, I guess, because that's crazy. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm sorry, that's mean. I shouldn't be mean like that. Don't be a UPS guy unless you have enough free time to also practice your animation. Because you practice that stuff enough, you got this. It'll be awesome. Believe. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's coming right along. This one is like rounded. The one before it has like a ridge right there. I'm going to pronounce that a little more because I like that ridge. And then I'm going to give this one a ridge because at the end of the day, I want a ridge. And then that one has a ridge. It's the little things. It's the little things, guys. I'm telling you. So we got ridge, ridge, ridge. Okay. And that's coming in quite nicely. These are there. You know, I know I just told you not to make it wobble, but here I am making it wobble. So I'm going to try to fix some of this wobble. But I apologize for my hypocrisy. I don't have an excuse. Other than I have a camera trained on my face and people are watching. That's my excuse. Alright, so I don't want this to become another spike. I mean, the temptation is there, right? Like, okay, it's kind of growing out. I see where it's going. I'm just going to have it kind of hold. almost exactly in place for just a few frames, and then shrink back down. Just simple. So not everything can be a star of the show, right? If every element was like, look at me, look at me, I mean, that would be awful. You wouldn't know where to look. So this first frame needs help. I'm going to carve that out so it's curved like that. And then I'm going to fix this guy. This guy. Okay, I can't see a darned thing because it's before and after is messed up. So I can turn on the green outlining mode. And then I can bring this out over here. And this takes some getting used to. Boy, I tell you. You can select the layer that you're currently on. See that? So then you're like, oh, that's the layer that I'm, the frame that I'm on. And then you can come in here and you can draw in between. I just painted and did a paint fill. And then I can erase out so I get this guy coming in between the one before and the one after. You see what I'm doing there? This is how you get rid of that crazy wobble that happens. And what's funny is once I zoom back out, this level of wobble elimination, it really probably won't matter, but that's okay. That's okay. Now the temptation here is to do this, right? It's like, oh yeah, it's in between. But dude, like sometimes you just gotta let the timing be varied. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, over here, yeah, straight in between, that's fine. But sometimes it's cool if it suddenly jumps around a little bit. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. Get that thing in there. This is frame 1. So yeah, it's sloppy. Whatever. Okay, so now I am happy with where that's headed. Okay, so turn this on again and bring this guy out. Now, previously on frame 3, this guy was moving about this far. So yeah, about that far. So I only want this guy to move like that far, because it's slowing down. It's getting old. It's getting up there. Can't move as far as it used to. It's okay. There's no shame in it. And then I'm going to start eating this away. Now, when eating away pieces, don't, like, if I'm going to take this piece here and make it eat away, don't just like shrink it down, because that is boring. Like, if it just shrinks evenly, I mean, I guess it's okay. Like, it could, you know? And maybe in some places I will make it shrink away like that. And that's cool. That's cool. So let it do that sometimes. But other times, make it interesting, right? Like, let it eat away at itself, like so. And then this guy is gonna shrink away, but I want it to shrink backwards, like so. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let this tip kind of pull back so to keep its sharpness. And then this guy, I think I might just break that rule I just said about not doing the thing. I think so. All right, so I kind of like that there's like a little bump right here. You see the bump? I'm going to keep it. And it's going to become this broken off shape. Alright, and then this guy here is going to be a smaller broken off shape, because I said so. Because anytime you break off one shape, it's nice to just kind of follow it up with another. and then leave that along that line there, but then bring it up really skinny. I don't know. You guys, I know sometimes you might think I know what I'm doing. It's not true. Okay, so this is the thing. There's a curve there and a curve there. Lame. There's a bump starting to form there. It's giving me this idea. You know what that idea is? Bump right there. Boom. See that? Oh, so nice. That way, there's a curve there and then a really long one there. Variation. Sorry, I just realized I was probably like floating off camera a little bit for a while there. Kind of getting my zone. Alright, it's feeling good so far, guys. I like it. I like it. But you know what? We're going to need to break it up sooner, so I'm going to move that frame in anticipation of like a quick breakup. I mean, it's going to be abrupt. I got to get these lines dispersing quicker. In fact, I got to get this tutorial moving quicker because it's taking a while. Alright. I don't know. Get like a shape up there. Shapey shape. It's kind of a boring shape, so I'm gonna like make it not so boring. You know what I'm saying? Leave that one attached, because this guy has two shapes. This guy can't be doing the same thing. Just wouldn't be prudent. Alright. Outdated presidential jokes from the 80s. Go. Maybe that was the 90s. I don't remember. I don't remember much from the 90s. Some dark days. So this guy is growing. You remember that? Remember how we made this guy grow? That was fun. You know, I could probably just go a lot faster and messier, but sometimes it's good to just kind of explain what's happening while it's happening, you know what I'm saying? Take a little bit of time here and there, explain myself. Alright, so we got this dude coming over. It's time to start sizing this guy down. So we'll do that. Now, when you're sizing him down, do not just cut into him this way, because remember, he's been moving this way, right? So let that leading edge kind of like stop, and then bring in the edge behind significantly. So what it does is, for a while, the leading edge wasn't moving fast, and then the following edge, I guess, it takes its turn moving fast. Yeah, and give this guy a little bit of time to die. Give him the respect he needs. And itch your nose in memoriam of him. Okay, here we go. This guy too. It's fun to have these little lingering specks. Alright, so this is shrinking down quite nicely. It's time for it to break off from the mothership. Boom. Boom. So when they dissolve, they can dissolve more away from the back and only a little bit from the front, and that's perfect. So that it still kind of feels like it's moving outward, but it's lost its momentum, right? You get me. You get it. If you don't get it, leave a comment. Lasso. Lasso. I think they call it lasso in other parts of the world. I think. I might be mistaken and extremely ignorant, for which I apologize. Lasso. Where have I heard that before? I don't even know. Dang it. I'm gonna offend people, I just know it. Alright. Break it up. Breaking it up. This guy. Oh. Oh. There's some wobble. See, I love checking my animation because I find so many problems. So it's here, then it's out, then it's back in. So I'm just going to make it further out to begin with, so that overall it just shrinks. There we go. And it's just shrinking right in there. Pretty straightforward shape. Nothing complex to read into, it is just getting smaller. And then this guy is also going to get smaller. And I'm going to break it apart right there. Break all my rules by having that shrink in to there and keep moving this forward. There we go. So as long as some shapes are not just shrinking into the middle, it won't feel procedural, you know what I mean? Because like if they all just did that, that's lame. But this guy here, he's moving up in the world. He's doing something with his life, which is only got 8 more frames. Alright, so this I agreed would shrink back. Contracting phase. Alright, let's connect it through. We don't want everything, like, so here everything is connected, right? All these nice lines. If I broke apart everything all at once in one area on the same frame, it would look funny. Believe me, I've done it before. Break this guy off though, because he's a little away from all that. I'm checking to make sure that that ridge is still moving right. It's tracking that way. That's the sound he makes. Alrighty. I need some interesting shapes in my life right now. So I'm going to make some. There we go. Here's a fun trick. If you've got an arch that's like that on one frame, make it like that on another frame, so that the ridge feels like it's traveling, right? Because the ridge is there and then it moved to there. So I've got it like that there, and then I've got the ridge a little more like that there. You see that? It's kind of fun. And I can adjust how these move later. That's the beauty of Flash, is it's so easy to switch these things up. I'm going to break this guy up. And it's going to look like he's hitting some resistance. Well, I can slide that forward, that's going to be nice. Yeah. I want this to be further forward, because it was the gap here and the gap here were kind of the same. So that I can get away with this. Moving that forward. Oh yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. Bits. Boy, I tell ya. So we got this break happening on that frame, this break happening on that frame. More breaks to come, folks. It's going to be good. Alright. Meanwhile, we got this negative shape here that just keeps eating away to the point where eventually it's going to cause that guy there to snap. So he's snapping right now. And then I got to do something about this thing there. this crystal to move up there. Uh-huh. I see what's shaping up here. Some stuff and things going on up in here. Alright. You know, that feels a little weird to have that break and that break at the same time. So I'm going to thicken this guy up a little bit here. Just a little bit. So that we can leave them together for just one more frame. Just a little bit longer. Alright. They're going to try to make the relationship work for just a couple more frames. So let it break up. I really need a new analogy. It's just too easy though. Alright, here we go. That comes in. So, you see this and this, I don't want them both to come into here and here. That just feels kind of even. So I'm going to leave this guy out here a little bit more. Oh, that actually feels more even. Oops. I'll bring him in more. Then how about that? There we go. And put this guy out more. There we go. That feels good, right? I'm assuming you're saying yes. So we're moving on. Now these guys can break up. And for things that are really small by this point, I kind of need to just let them go because I'm on like close to the end keyframe. I'm only going to emphasize the shapes that really I want to linger the longest. Right. There we go. There we go. I'll let the big ones stay, but the little ones going away. Luckily, this thing gets quicker and easier towards the end. Just let that stay right there. Alright. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, now let's hit Control Enter. Oh, save it first, because Flash has been known to crash a couple times. Boom! So we've got some stuff going on, I guess. I like the Flash, it's feeling good. You know what it's missing though is the concussive blastiness of it. It's not like popping, you know what I'm saying? It just feels a little too, I don't know what the word is. Even, I guess. Let's fix it. Let's come in here and we'll time this guy out. So I like the idea that the explosion would hold. I just got an idea. This might fix it. So it wasn't like popping out, so maybe what we need to do is pop it out. Right? Like create this like energy. I know I'm gonna have flicks coming up in here anyway, so you know, maybe these shapes are just, it's like they're becoming a thing. They're like sucking back in a little bit. So I got shapes popping out, shapes sucking in. It's going to cause quite the disruption. Ooh, but I want this guy. Okay, so if you want this guy here, hit S and then, oh geez, select a different color than white and fill that in. And then I can delete this edge and that edge, so I can just select the core and then Control X. I want to get rid of the rest of this outline, so I'll just double click on it, hit delete, and then whoops, don't double click on the stage because it'll go out of the symbol. Double click on that, hit delete. Then go into this frame here and do Control Shift V like a pro. Come and close my gaps. I've got gaps galore going on. And then I can kind of draw in the rest of this shape here. I kind of want to follow that a bit. There we go. There we go. Alright. And then I can delete that little bit that went into there. Double click on my green and hit delete. So now I've maintained my green. Or not my green, the negative space in there. So that will still register to the eye. Let's see here. I don't know. I mean, we're in uncharted territory now, guys. These things may not work. Like, at allsies. Alright, and then this guy is got his little zip. Should probably be looking at where those are at, but oh well. So it feels a little more punchy, right? If I want to make it even punchier, I could take this frame I just drew and this frame, so I select them both, slide them over, so let that opener hold. Oh, you know what the problem with that is? Is the center's not moving. Ugh, that's boring. That's a problem. The other problem is that the silhouette is not like growing at all. It needs to just do something. I'm sorry. Just get up and make itself useful. What if this center, I'm just going to lasso this middle, like so. I'm going to hit Q, and I'm going to set the center point for rotation to the center point, and I'm just going to rotate that guy. That's what I'm going to do. Erase that, because that's weird. Well, it's something. Hit undo a few times and get rid of that. I do think rotating it is the solution here. Still hitting undo. Okay, there we go. I do think rotating it is the solution here, but I'm going to have to kind of do a custom job because just the rotation tool doesn't get me what I want. Alright, so I want like a shape that is coming in hot. Hottest shapes for my animation. Something like that. There we go. And then for this guy, I mean, well, first off, let's just see how that looks. Yeah, that feels better. It needs more still, but it's better for now. Probably what I'm really lacking is this rim here needs to just uniformly come in, so it looks like it's sucked in. So I'm selecting all these parts of my rim, and I know this is going to be messy. That's okay. Life is messy. And then switch to select tool and hit shift. I've been holding shift the whole time to select multiple things. I want to scale from the very center, like that. So I move my little circle dot with the Q tool. And hold shift and alt on there. And there we go. So I can now fix this. Those are scaled in. And make sure all your edges are clean. So now there's a little Yeah, it like sucks in. And then it bounces out a little too quick. So let's see, this is the sucked in one, and this is the bounced out one. So I'm going to be able to see the frame before and after. And I'm going to just make this a little bit in between that so that they're kind of, so it kind of eases into that bounce out, because it's sucking in and going, flying back out in just like 2 frames, and it's just too fast. So Q, put this pivot point to the center, Control Shift. Okay, and then I can see there's where the first one is, there's where the second one is. I want to go in between. There we go. Fix this up. Fix it up. It's so important that you take the time to add this extra love into your work. I can leave this guy out. Yeah, there we go. So, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So, it's not in between, it's pretty choppy, but we're ready to move on to the next layer, which is these zippy zaps that we like so much. And these guys, I mean, come on. They have their origins back a ways. Oh, hey, they actually kind of match up. So let's just do where they appear. I mean, I don't want them to just kind of move out, because that's, well, it might be a good thing. Might be. Nah, we're gonna just try this first, and then we'll see how it's feeling. I mean, I'll just do like an appear frame here. So it's like coming into the position. I don't want it to slide into the position, I just want it to sort of appear there. So it's gonna, it's important with electricity how it moves. Notice, like, I want to avoid making it look like a wave here just like translated out to become that. It's got to zip zap into position like that. There we go. And this guy's the same way. And I don't want the shapes to be too similar to each other from frame to frame. Dealing with electricity, kind of wobbles about, and that's a good thing. That's what it should do. It should kind of be thick, and then random parts become thinner over time. Oops, I'm on the wrong frame. Okay, here we go. Now I know this tutorial's running long at this point. The longest yet. Setting a precedent for future tutorials. Because animating takes time. Alright, I might break it up into 2. Actually, I'm probably coming pretty close to the end of part 1, and then part 2 is just going to be refining this thing. Or I might just leave it as 1, who knows. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not recording it again. I don't know, maybe this guy was like already out here, and then kind of formed in place. Like so. Control Enter. Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. So in part 2, I'm going to now have that fade out, and yeah, basically figure out the rest of it. I mean, there's a lot left to go, so hope you learned something. But as for me, I'm going to keep going.